day here, and everything on the line for both sides. LolPro going to win the skin war in a big way because you got to have Bear Cavalry, Sedge, and Resistance. It's just done. It's done at that point. There's not even any discussing. It doesn't matter. It's over. LolPro win that one. We'll see. They can ride a skin war victory into an actual victory in the game. It's pretty rare that happens, though. Any team I pick to win the skin war tends to end up losing for whatever reason.
Yeah, LolPro is a very thematic team here with the skins, though. They have like the general looking Ziggs. They have the Resistance Caitlyn. They got the Sejuani looking all commander. Resistance all over. Resistance all over. But can they resist Quantic here in this game?
I like a bear with an eye patch. Seems like you wouldn't need it because generally eye patches are a cosmetic thing. But you know, the bear very picky about who sees him and how he looks, but he wears it well. I gotta say,
yeah,
he's rocking the
Rengar. Rengar not rocking the eye patch this game. He's got the Predator looking skin going for him.
Yeah,
they decided to go all the way with that one.
They should have picked Italy into it on the Quantic side so that they could get Headhunter in Italy and they could go full on.
I think she was banned this game. She was banned.
Oh yeah, she was the first ban for LolPro. Oh heck,
that's all right.
That was their plan the whole time.
Nope, no Headhunters here. They wanted that Rengar early. We saw them hover over it. Heaven was like, I might get this for Hauntzer. And then the Hauntzer's like, no. Let's see what Apple picks first. And then he picks the cannon. And then they're like, all right, so now it's okay to pick Rengar. We're going to have to see how that works out. And they're going to do a 2v1 up in the top lane. Like I said from the start, you got to do something about Apple. You have to do something about him.
Absolutely. Marking the prices up and just low margins. Overworking the workers. Hook's going to land on the Heaven time here. Going to be forced to flash out. Quantic will keep the chase up for a little while. Suno going to follow it through. Blue buff going to be grabbed here, and unless Hauntzer can get in close and do something crazy, going to get 2 flashes out of that. And so Prime will walk away with the blue buff.
That was something that Quantic didn't know about, but they had a numbers advantage there because there was a 2v1 up in the top lane. And that's a lot of damage onto Suno in the mid lane. So going back to that blue, there's a numbers advantage there for Quantic. That was a 4v3 at best. And so they got the hook and they got a lot of damage onto Heaven. He's going to have to rotate to this blue buff. And it's going to delay his jungle a good amount.
Yeah, LolPro does get the invade, though, without any trouble, especially with Suno getting just beat up in the mid lane there. Jackie put the full round of juices into him. And he's going to be a moist Thanksgiving turkey indeed. Did you have turkey on Thanksgiving?
I'm actually vegetarian. I know. Been vegetarian my entire life.
Did you have
yes,
tofu?
I did.
As long as it's shaped like meat.
There you go.
You can
I'm
pretend.
Glad you're accepting of my lifestyle.
There you go. I'm not, but you know, I'm judging you silently on the inside.
Okay. But being vocal
switch to Republican and all kinds of stuff. I'm a terrible human being. So, Quantic rolling around, got themselves a little bit of a lead out here early with CS numbers for Apple just working out nicely as old Gengi can't even get in close. Gonna show Heaven time that they've got ward coverage and nicely timed on it as well, as that ward is not long for this world. So the more fear you can put into the heart of LolPro that ward's been there, is there, and is ready to be used in a fight, the more likely you are to get them to just leave you alone. So nicely timed by Apple there. Apexi can't move, so we'll see a pause here out of LolPro, and Heaven time and Apexi both out of the game quick. Hopefully just quick bugs that they can fix up.
Yeah, and this is really all a culmination of what happened. We're actually talking about the strategy here, that when they contested that blue buff and Heaven had to go all the way to the other blue buff, it pulled down Sona from the top lane, so Apple was able to free farm without the harassment, because the main source of harassment, aside from the Kate, is the support in a 2v1 lane, is the support's zoning while the ADC is CSing as best he can. And if you look at Apple CS, he's got 11. He's in a very good position here. He's got 11 over Hauntzer, who has 0, and he's got 2 levels up on him. So we saw this last game where the 3v1 comes in into those top lanes and onto the solo laners. And Hauntzer was level 1 when Apple was level 2 on the Rengar previously. I think that was game 1. But now Hauntzer's level 1 on Rengar. He's forced to go to those wolves, and he's not even going to hit level 2 off of that, I believe. And Apple, level 3, actually I believe he just hit level 3. So he's got an escape, he's got all of his little goodies, and the turret down bottom undefended, whereas Apple's still at that top one to hold it up.
And he's trying to keep himself safe. Double buffs on Heaven time, a scary thing indeed. He's not going to get any help there, but Just the threat of the cannon damage is enough to sort of keep them at bay. Make sure they've got a nice, big, strong line to work with there. Quantic going to be the first to finish off the turret down bottom here in the next couple of seconds. And I got to say, Apple's standing that front and going to be able to buy a little bit of time. Apexy trying to work it in there. Heaven Time looking for a way around. Apexy having to tank the turret out, though. Now LolPro spread awkwardly, and nothing they can do about it. Heaven Time going to start to run low. Apexy taking a couple shots as well. Apple going to finally get beat up. He's got minions in the area of the turret, but he's got to back it off as he runs too low. Still, Quantic with time for not only a turret grab, but a dragon pickup on the other side of it. Early game dominance? Question mark? Could be here as Quantic just getting a lot of objectives around the field and still holding on to top outer, even though it looks to fall now, as Apple finally had to head on home.
Yeah, they had a choice about that. After they got that bottom turret, the question was, do we go do Dragon, or do we back and go defend top? If they backed and defended the top, then they would have been able to do it very easily, would have been able to defend that turret. It's going to drop right now. Because they saw that Sejuani Heaven Time was top, they decided, let's just do Dragon, get that guaranteed smite on it, nobody's going to be able to contest this, and we'll trade turrets but have an advantage because of the Dragon. So it's a conscious decision there to not help Apple.
Push was hanging out in the brush, looking for an opportunity to pick a grab on the Jackie, but Jackie not going to wander into the danger zone. So he's going to be okay, and it's a 1K gold lead now for Quantic on the back of the Dragon grab. A turret apiece as top outer falls to LolPro. And going to send Triss mid lane just to keep things nice and clean while everybody rolls back out. Haunter taking a lot of damage off of this minion line.
And so he's actually, Haunster's going to start freezing that lane as best he can. That's going to put some pressure onto the top, so Apple's going to be able to push that up. They're going to start rotating into these areas, the top and mid turret. And can Gunza see Jackie?
Oh, over the wall, but not going to get it. Jackie flashes out, and he'll stay alive.
So Jackie wastes the flash there. Maybe could have used the satchel charge to get out, but it might not have been fast enough there because rock jump would have been able to slow.
LOD locked up, Apple chasing it down. He's going to get the cleanse out of LOD. Prime with a little bit of luck as the turret resets to the minion line. Apple takes one more shot. Apexy wants to chase it down, but there's just nothing he can do. Prime's still a little too healthy to run after that one, and now Quantic pressing towards a 2K gold lead. The lane clear from Ziggs, buying him some time as mid-outer comes under attack. Prime's still trying to work things over in the top lane, but Sona should be able to hold it. Apple going to stay on the lane, though.
That was extremely scary for Apple because he had to use his flash there to get out of turret range because when Prime went up...
It's dropped. Apple gonna have enough primes there. Waiting for the cooldowns to spin and gonna tank out the turret. LOD on the way back out, but Prime's gonna be able to finish it off in time. Ignite's burned. LOD coming in, but half health left on Prime. Not gonna be a whole lot he can do. The second pickup up top. The turret grab early means that Quantic can't get the total shutdown. My dream shattered once again, though, and Quantic with two big grabs in the top lane. Now out front, still haven't managed to push it quite to 2K, but staying very strong nonetheless.
So I was sitting there watching Apple in the bush while I was talking, and he was level 5. One more creep died. He gets level 6. The cocoon goes out as soon as he hits level 6. So he runs in, hits Control R, gets the slicing maelstrom down. And that was very, very quick by him. And very good communication. I assume he was saying, you know, I need one more creep for maelstrom before Prime went. And then he gets it, and Prime goes as soon as it dies. It's fantastic coordination there to pick up Apexy underneath the turret.
So, big early grabs here as Dragon picked up by Quantic, and they've picked up 2 kills onto the AD and the support. So the marksman and the support. Use that
yeah, you can actually type in marksman on the 3.14 patch into the bar, and it'll show you all the marksmen now when you're in Champion Select.
That's good.
So it does that.
Yeah. So, Apple's still holding the lane 2v1. He's got the range, and he's got the energy to do it with Prime swinging north with Suno clearing out lanes in mid. 52 to 60 CS there, though, as Jackie's having a bit of an easier time of it. LOD just going to have to stand still and wait for this to happen. Down he goes, auto attack from Apple to finish the job, and that'll be the third grab of the game for Quantic. Overall, 2 onto, at least 1 on to Kinnan now, and Quantic working mid-outer down. Away it goes, 2 minutes left to Dragon.
And really, Apple is just doing a fantastic job in the top lane, but he's had Prime with him every time. Both Apple and Prime have 100% kill participation, and everybody else on the team has 0, so it's just them.
Still not going to land onto a Pexi, but it's not going to abate the chase as Heaven Time comes up. That will get him to back off. They're going to continue to farm on the far side. Now just got to wait for the minion line to come in, roll around Tri-Brush side, and looks like they're not going to be too heavily contested at top outer. Still got Prime hanging back to get an idea of what's going on. Sed's going to come swinging through Loco Doco down bottom to stop Hanser from getting a free farm on. Does have a little bit of a CS lead up over Kennen, but the global gold situation, the kills and assists, going to make sure that things still look quite rosy here for Apple. Hanser just beefing it out, though, as Loco Doco and Gunza just not doing any really convincing damage.
Yeah, and still Prime Apple pushing that top lane. Can they do anything about this? The Mega Inferno Bomb going up top just to clear that minion wave out to keep the pressure off of it. So Nijaki being present in the top lane despite being in the mid.
A little less than half health, about a third of the health left on that turret up top for LolPro's top outer turret. They managed to grab top outer as the Dragon and bottom lane pickups meant that Apple had to recall the 3v1 push up top earlier in the game. Since then, they have not been able to get much onto the board. A 3,000 gold lead for Quantic. 3 kills to none, 2 turrets to 1, 10-15 off the clock, and a nice, really solid lead for 10-20. I gotta say, these games, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of movement by Quantic. It makes them feel like it should be later in the game, just like that last game when I looked up and it was 28 minutes. I was like, what? Yeah. Quantic's
like
a million, though. And
this had to be like 35.
Suno on the run. He'll get cleared. Time to land on a Jack. He's going to try and pick it up anyway. Turret doesn't quite get him there. The Ignite's still burning, though.
Not enough.
1 tick away. Jackie by the skin of his teeth, and nobody from Quantic there to help get the revenge ring on. Jackie going to have to leave the field, though.
You know what saved Jackie?
Too much trouble.
Is he leveled up from killing Suno. He got to level 9 right there.
By the skin of his teeth in more ways than one, then, as very nearly got burned down even with the level up. Quantic working Dragon number 2 down as they got the timer in place. Sedge going over the wall on some wraiths, and LolPro just seemed relatively uninterested in this Dragon. Down it goes. Another global gold pickup there. Going to press the lead out to 3,500 gold now.
And something I've been seeing Tristana's do more and more is pick up the Avarice Blade into the Static Shiv, which is what Loco Doco has already done. He's already built that Static Shiv on Tristana. I see this more and more. It's becoming more and more common. They do it over in Korea when they do play Tristana, and I saw it this tournament and in the last tournament, where you just go for the wave clear as quickly as possible and keep the pressure on. Prime doing
stun on the Hanser and put some nice damage down. Rinkar with no choice but to leave.
He's just going to heal that back up and go back to lane, though. So really nothing got accomplished there for Prime except doing a little bit of damage. I think he did actually place a pink ward down afterwards. Actually, no, the pink ward was there from Hanser, and he clears the ward out. So Prime gets nothing there except to show that he's present and that Hanser should be a little more careful.
LolPro really keeping pace on the side of CS here. We're actually keeping a lead out. 92 in the mid lane versus 85 on Suno, 91 to 84 in the marksman situation, and 73 to 66 in the solo laners. Apple been pushed out, but again, global gold and kill pickups paying a lot of money right there. LOD in trouble. Suno going to pick that one up without any trouble. Guns are going to land a big hook on Apex. Down he goes, and they're 3 strong in the top lane. Looking like they might be able to follow up a double kill for Suno with a grab onto the turret. The minion line well away. They're going to have to clear it up. Prime going to get locked up there. Got the flash, though. Gets away. Sends a stun back. Heaven Time's lane. He's got the Spiderlings to help clear it out. So Jackie not going to be able to force the issue.
And Loco Doco just clearing the bottom lane out. Static Shiv alongside Explosive Shot. It'll be really easy for him to keep the pressure off the turret. And that's something that Rengar needs to do, is get to these turrets and just destroy them with his Q procs and just increase his attack speed, double Q things. But he's not been able to do that. Hasn't been able to even clear the waves. And they've just been keeping all of LolPro on their back foot inside of their base at their inner turrets.
Quantic with perfect timing on the top outer grab. Suno going to get the credit there. 21,000 to 15.8 now. It's about a 5,000 gold lead. A couple extra ducats in the pockets of Quantic to tip it on over. 3 turrets to 1, 5 kills to 1. And both of the dragons that have gone down this game belong to Quantic, so the global gold definitely giving them a lot to put in the pockets. Kills as well. Those CS numbers on the LolPro side not counting for too much right now, even though Jackie doing a fantastic job right there, just pressing through 120 CS now, most of the game. It's giving them a little bit back, but not enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough here. Apple, once again, going for that early Zonias. He gets enough gold, he just gets rolling. His CS is a little lower than it typically is, though, because of that 2v1 lane, but he's been able to be up in that top lane and be a presence even against a 2v1 lane, because Prime's been helping him out all game.
Yeah, delayed the turret grab, and then with the help of Prime, they got a lot of damage put onto that tower early. As it is, though, even with the good gold money onto Jackie, trailing in gold per minute to Suno with the help of that and look around the field. So, Apple's still doing his thing up top. LOD and Pixie playing it scared, though. They just don't have the vision that they need. They've got some of the gank brush, but that tri-brush just getting a pink ward there, expecting a move top. Quantic going to roll down the bottom side of the jungle. Pink ward gets dropped, and we'll trade pink there. Pick one up for themselves. Quantic leaving the area. LolPro grouping up, hoping for just a big grab here, and they're going to be denied as Quantic not headed that direction. Well, gonna pick up the red. We'll see, though. If they can grab it, and the dive forward by Heaven Time. Gonna drop the ult on a Prime and Apple Crescendo. Not gonna catch the spider at the backside. They will pick up Cannon box, drop Prime, looking for a way out. And the widespread on LolPro means that they just can't focus any one side down. Suno still hanging out over the wall. Hansu gonna get the jump. Gunza with the flare, push him back. LolPro running low, and Suno grabs one out of the middle. Prime comes back in. Jackie now in trouble. Can he get away? Prime with no way back into it. The burn's not going to be enough off the red buff. LocoDoco can't find him. LOD in trouble, but Hansu there to try to run him low. Jackie with the Q can't finish off LocoDoco. And some just tiny health bars as everybody runs it away. Prime with about 12 health left across the entire turret. Quantic with about 12 health left across the entire team as Prime runs low. LocoDoco and Gunza both down to just the skinny in their britches, and LolPro get out. That one ends up 2 for 1, 1 for 1. God, lost count. Exciting right there at the end, but nobody gets anything.
I believe it was a 1 for 1.
Was it? Yeah, it was. They picked up Apple at the start of the fight, and on the other side, yeah, Jackie got away from it. So it was only the grab onto Apexy.
It was Apple in Heaven.
Apple in Heaven.
Yeah. Apexy was fine. He was just out of mana, extremely. Everybody else was extremely low. Night Jackie Prime, LocoDoco, Gunza, all really low. LocoDoco jumped in there and used his flash to try and pick up the kill. Wasn't able to get the range onto Night Jackie. Just a hair off.
Oh, that was just to the absolute end of the lifespan. Hey, took LolPro low enough that they couldn't turn it around and capitalize, because that could have been a big grab if LolPro had made it through that fight. A little bit more left in the tank. 5K gold lead still for Quantic, however. On the backside of that fight is it's a 1 for 1.
If LolPro was even in gold, then that would have been their fight through and through. They had the numbers advantage, they had a position advantage there. The fact is that they're a little bit behind now. 5K, it's very hard for them to do something.
Monster in trouble. And down he goes. Prime gonna get credit for the kill there. Finish him off. LocoDoco just working it down with the CS. Catching up to Kate, who had a nice little lead for a bit there. Time gonna land. Suno walks it back in, but just shorts the Q. Not going to be able to burn down a Pexi like that. Got a split push.
Cannon.
Up top.
Apple is still doing work on this turret. Granted, Kennen is probably... he's all about the wave clear. He doesn't take turrets very quickly. So when he gets to that turret, he's got to chunk it down very slowly. Just Doran's blades in his pocket. And so it's just chipping away at it, but he's going to get it. Nobody's there to contest.
And it's still going to land on LOD, the hook as well. They have to let it go as the Twins comes out. Heaven Time. Gonna get chunked down. A block on a nice ace in the hole attempt for LOD there. Just threw the desperation out, hoping to burn LocoDoco down. Not gonna get it though. Dragon back up. Be the third of the game, and Quantic headed straight for it. Top. Inner, not outer. Falls to Apple.
Yeah, no, they got that top one just by Apple. He's just pushing it, causing enough pressure that... But the thing is that they're not making plays off of that. They're not saying, okay, it's a 4v5 bottom. We're going to lose top turret anyway. Let's 4v5 them. Because the last time they did that, they didn't come out on top. They caught people out. They blew up Apple in that previous fight. And LolPro had a clear advantage, but the gold is just getting more and more out of control for them. And this blue is going to be contested here by Quantic.
Suno rolling in, but some big damage onto Jackie and a lack of numbers. Going to call for a retreat between King there. LOD coming in for LolPro. They'll try to pick it up from the far side. LOD dropping a little cupcake trap, and they'll have to let that one go. Jackie does get away with his blue. The prize going to LolPro. A tiny prize at that, as the lead right now is 7,000 almost 7,500 gold. When Suno gets done with this line here, might end up being that even. Hanser gonna run him away though. Suno decides to go after the big jungle cat instead of the tiny little minions because, hey, a bigger head on the wall is a nicer thing to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to decorate those walls nice and pretty, and then you get a big bear there too if you want it. Put Sejuani's head too. I don't know, but a lot of big items coming out for Quantic. They have the Zonias and they have the DFG already completed, and LocoDoco is going for that IE. So he's going to have that very shortly. I believe he's about 900-ish gold off at this point because he does have 100 in his pocket. So, God, that's good. They're getting very scary very quickly. 19 minutes in.
Pushing on an 8,000 gold lead, not even at the 20-minute mark yet. Prime setting up red buff. LocoDoco will get there in time to get the job done. Red buff secured. Suno with a blue buff. And right now, LolPro playing it back and waiting for the right time to move.
Yeah, Gunza's just going to start clearing things out and setting up bad team fights for LolPro if he can. But if LolPro catches him out, it's going to be a team fight in favor of Quantic. So both supports have the oracles. And Apple's sitting off on the side. 4-level advantage on Heaven. Does he want to go for it?
Ooh, not gonna. I wanted to see it though. Heaven's gonna get it over to the brush.
He's gonna sniff it. He's gonna sniff it.
He's gonna look. He's gonna look for it. They're gonna start it up, and it's just gonna be a disengage.
So he was like, "I see the minion wave. No Sejuani there. Let's check this bush." So he delays the back still, which is still a good thing for him and his team because he's gonna continue to push. And Quantic is. This really is their strategy, just have Apple split push, and he does a fantastic job. He gets CS, he has a level advantage, and if people come to duel him, I believe he could duel anybody on the map currently with his items and his Zonias.
LolPro really going to need some coordination here as they're down a fairly significant amount of gold. And Quantic just been pushing them around the map right now. 4 turrets to 1. They got top inner taken care of. Haven't moved anything out of there just yet. They take a look at Apple, but they're not going to find him as 3 strong in the top side. Friendly jungle for LolPro is just not enough to lock down the Squirrel. And bottom inner maybe going to be the next target here for Quantic as they look for some quarry to grab. Mid lane still just going to be Suno putting some damage on Heaven Time. Hanser coming in. In comes Apple and going to drop some big damage onto Heaven Time. Heaven Time barely going to make it out. Ult comes in, is wide. The Ignite's still there. Hanser going to go down.
Whoa.
Map 2. Map is so big now. LocoDoco can take out the shot. Goes over Peacemaker. Misses wide just over LocoDoco. Might have been a little bit back to LolPro. They get nothing, 2-0. Apple, huge grab there.
Suno is just using his Spirit Rush on the outskirts of that Mega Inferno bomb. That was incredible there. And then he was in base contact with Hanser in melee range, and he still doesn't get picked up and is able to get out of the fight with low HP. That was just fantastic play there by Suno, blowing me away all day today.
Yeah, Suno, right to the ragged edge and didn't even full disengage. I love that re-engage as he knew Apple was coming around and just set up the big cat for a big fall right there. Prime saying, here's Heaven Time. Who else is coming along? Without word coverage, stun not going to land. So Prime just finish this off. Gets it done, turns around, puts a Q on Heaven Time. Heaven Time going to have to leave as that front line is just not beefy enough by a long shot. 59 CS, 0-2-1, and only a single global objective there. As that one turret is not going to be putting a whole lot into the bank of Heaven Time, having a hard time staying the fight against anybody.
Yeah, no, he's not able to stay in the fight at all. And the Sejuani pick is a little confusing to me because they don't have any backup for it. Like I said, usually you see that with a wombo combo type team composition. Even if you want to run, like we used to see it with Zax in the top, where it would just be Zac jumping in, using his Let's Bounce on top of the Sejuani ultimate. Because it's really not a primary engagement tool, it's a secondary engagement. You throw it out, and then your primary engager comes on top of it. Whether it's a Kennen rushing in, whether it's a Zac jumping in, something along those lines. But they don't have anything like that. So it's a little bit of a confusing pick here. And LolPro does have these types of unorthodox champions, and if you don't play against it very often, you don't know how to handle it. Like the mid lane Morgana, not a very common competitive pick, but for Nijaki, it is. So maybe trying to throw it
with grabbing a ward there, but they'll answer it back very quickly. Get the pink ward out of Bench's lane there. 9,400 gold the lead for Quantic. No signs of slowing. And 30 seconds to Dragon. They've have the ability to press on Baron, and that looks like what they want to do with 37,000 gold. The money's right for at least a tight fight around Baron. LolPro, will they come over and take a look at it? No wards in the area. Quantic just going to hang it out. Beta fight by Baron, possibly? but nobody from Quantic even looking at it, or nobody from LolPro even looking in that direction.
Well, here's the thing: is everybody can get over the wall for Quantic, so they're waiting for somebody to come check it. Apple's going to come running up with his lightning rush, use a slicing maelstrom. Gunza will hook somebody. LocoDoco might jump in when he gets the chance, but Prime can definitely repel over the wall, and they're just baiting this at this point. They have an advantage, and until they see something like a Sejuani bottom, of course they can catch him out. And here we go.
Time gonna have to go on the run. Not gonna get it though. Jungler down, and maybe time for real Baron.
And that's the person they needed to pick up there. No smite available for the team of LolPro.
Long range lantern gonna get Suno back into the fight as they start up Baron on Quantic side. LolPro grouping up, and maybe will they have a combined strength? That becomes the question. Ward over the wall. They can see it. It'd take a big steal right here, and I'm not sure they've got the damage to do it. Gonna top the ult. Prime's out of it. They're still going to be able to get it away as LocoDoco finishes off the Baron, and LolPro have to call it away. 10,000 gold lead now for Quantic. Heads up play by Jackie, but it's just not enough. Bottom out are going to fall to Ringar. They'll get their second third of the game. The Baron now spinning on Quantic. Suno taken extremely low, and they may have to give away mid-outer here as that loss of Prime may cost them a little bit here. LocoDoco still in the area to clear the lane away, but can't get close enough.
And that was very, very scary for Quantic at that point. They lost Prime before the Baron was taken out. His smite still not on cooldown, as you can see. So he wasn't able to smite it before he died. So LocoDoco is really up to the wolves there. Whoever can get the Baron gets it. And if LolPro got it, it could have been the start of a comeback. Would have evened it up.
Monster in trouble now as Benji drops the block to slow him down. Not going to get the grab, though. He will flash forward and pick up pull just to keep him in range. LocoDoco going to get the kill there, improved to 102. His first of the game, 11 kills to 3, 5 turrets to 4 after a very heads-up 3-turret grab by LolPro. Very, very nicely done on the other side of that Baron. Knew that their big guy Prime was basically out of commission. Gives a fairly low himself, and bought him just enough time. They're going to take it down to an 8K gold lead, but we'll see if that was enough to get them back into this, if they can force any kind of map presence out of it, or if it's too little too late all day long. Jackie going to spin the ult again to get rid of close to the line. They still got work to do. Jackie run down to the absolute bottom of his health pool, and he will not make it out as the Ignite got placed by Suno in just a flash right there. Burned Jackie down to the ground. Now their ability to clear the lane greatly diminished. LocoDoco going to take the shot out. Having time at the front side of right, taking it away. Able to get away from Flash. Haunter tries to pick up and doing it to pick up. Down with Quantic, and they're going to grab hold and hit it. Turn buff still spinning on everybody except Prime for Quantic. Minion line pushing in, and they've got 9 seconds to Jackie. Not sure if they're going to be able to get out of it. Jackie doesn't have to go. He's going to have to walk into the pile and see if he can't just ask them politely to see if Quantic gets shot. He's calling them off. They know they are 2 seconds. But nothing doing. Quantic disconnects. Come back strong in 2 straight to send LolPro down to the third.